How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We are talking about a stock that I've never talked about before, and that's Palantir. So, this is a really interesting company that I've been looking into for a little while now, and it's a little bit hard to understand the business model at first. So, I'm going to talk you through that. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing, whether I'm buying the stock. I don't hold it now, so I can't sell it, but I will tell you what I'm thinking about it, where I think it can go in the future. And I do want to say too, before we get started, if you guys like this, please hit the thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. Also, please hit the subscribe button. We grew so much yesterday. I think we can hit 25,000 subscribers maybe by Thanksgiving. So in the next few days, I think we can hit it. Please hit that subscribe button down there. We do videos every day, sometimes 2-3 times a day. Yesterday was a crazy day in the market, and we did 6 videos because a crazy day in the market deserves a crazy amount of videos trying to cover it. If you guys like that, do that. Hit the subscribe button. Also, if you want 4 free stocks, if you want free money, hit the link down below to WeBull. Get 4 free stocks. 2 are worth up to $1,600. And then 2, if you want to be included in a group of investors and get exactly when I'm buying and selling stocks, you can check out the link down below to Patreon. We pointed out CIIC, and I told them before I can tell YouTube, it does take a little while to be able to upload to YouTube, so sometimes that hurts. You can see here, we pointed out CIIC when it was $13.50. We pointed out LGVW yesterday morning. Now it's up 20%. We pointed out SBE, and I invested a good amount last week. Now it's up about 100% on the week. And then even Workhorse, it's been down today, but we bought more when it fell down to about $15, $16 a share. And now it's up about 82%. If you want to see what I'm doing with these stocks, whether I'm selling it or whether I'm holding it, I can only make so many videos for YouTube, and I can only update so quickly. So if you want to get that, you can check out the link down below to Patreon. Definitely check that out. And if you want, again, WeBull does have extended trading hours. So if you want to get in on stocks after the market closes, it is open from 4 a.m. Eastern time to 8 p.m. Eastern time too. So it's a nice app to use if you're looking at post-market trading, because a lot of the time these companies release news after hours and it sucks if you cannot get in on it. So we are talking about Palantir today, and it is up on the day. You can see here that it's fallen a lot since it was up. It was up a really good amount. And we've been up a lot throughout the last week, throughout the last month. You can see here 121% on the month. We're up a significant amount here too, about 20%. And I have really been looking at this company for a long-term investment. And I'll explain why. But before we do, you can see that it's kind of hard to understand what Palantir does. It says, with good data and the right technology, people and institutions today can solve hard problems and change the world for better. They have a more convoluted description of what they do somewhere else. I forgot exactly where it was, but essentially they run big data analytics. So a lot of companies have a lot of data. They're looking at different problems, and they can organize the data in a way that is useful and the organizations can improve themselves with. So it is an interesting company. It's hard to nail down exactly what makes them different than other companies, but I think there are 2 ways to go about researching a stock. You can see exactly what they do and why that makes them better than everything else. Or you can look at how their revenue grows from their clients and look at new contracts and kind of go about it the backwards way. So instead of looking at the product, you look at the results of the product, and then you try to backtrack to see why it's a good product. So I'll show you that here, but we can just take a look at their Q3 results. These were just released a little while ago. You can see their revenue increased 52% year over year in the third quarter from 191 million to 289 million. You can see their adjusted operating income went from negative 92 million to 73 million. A big increase there. They have earned some new contracts here. An energy super major deployed their ERP suite in hours. Within 2 weeks, they generated $57 million of cash savings and expected to generate $1 billion on an annualized basis. They're able to save people a lot of money. It says an aerospace customer signed the largest commercial deal we've ever done in the midst of the pandemic, and that shook their entire industry. You can see a top 5 pharmaceutical company is linking data from more than 2,000 clinical trials in Foundry to uncover trends across trials and securely analyze outcomes at population level. So essentially, they're just tying everything together. There are a bunch of dots on the map, and they're drawing the lines in between to make sense of what's happening. They say here, our software is becoming the de facto operating system of the U.S. and allied defense. They signed a 2-year contract worth $91 million with the U.S. Army Research Lab. That's a big contract. That is $45 million a year. And that's not the end of it. They signed a $36 million contract to support NCATS efforts, including cancer research and the pandemic research. They're powering NHS England's allocation and distribution of more than 2.7 billion pieces of PPE from port to patent. They're supporting Colombia, so the president of Colombia. They have a lot of governments that they work with. This is one thing that you should definitely know if you're thinking about investing in this company, is they are highly tied to governments. So they're essentially a defense contractor, and they are able to work with a lot of different governments. Right now, you can see, again, their revenue grew a lot. They're expected to grow existing contracts as the customers derive more value. You can see the average revenue per customer in 2019 was about 4.2 billion. Now it's 5.8, so they're getting bigger contracts overall. Their average revenue for the top 20 clients also increased. So you can see that they're able to gain their customers and then either get bigger contracts in the future or just increase the contract size. You can also see that revenue from their top 20 clients has become less important for them. So they had 68% of their income in 2019 from their top 20 clients. Now it's only 61%. I mean, that's still a high amount, right? It's not like Coca-Cola where they sell to all these different events. They sell to all these different companies, all these individuals. It's not like that where it's split up so much. It is pretty highly concentrated in their biggest clients, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because it also makes it a lot easier for them to gain revenue over time, because if their top clients like them, then they're going to increase revenue a lot. You can see their commercial revenue increased by about 35%, while their government revenue increased about 68% year over year. And you can see here that they've increased the amount of revenue that they've gotten from new clients. So this is from clients acquired in the 9 months ending September 30, 2019. And then this year, so they have increased from $8.3 million to $22.8 million. This is a big jump, showing that they're able to quickly transition their clients into more revenue for the company. They also have a very high gross margin, right? So 70% in 2019, now 81%. This is a pretty lean and mean company when you consider this versus like an automaker, which is much lower. A lot of these companies, a lot of the new EVs are negative for a long time. And they have about $1.8 billion in cash. They also increased their revenue guidance, so they're expecting about 1.07 million in 2020. And they do have a good forward outlook, so they're assuming that they're going to be able to increase this about 31% in 2021, and then 28% in 2022. And you can see down the line they're expecting this to increase anywhere from 42% a year down to about 10% a year. By 2029, so about 10 years out, 9 years out, they're expecting about 6.7 billion in revenue. Now, this is where I think that the company is trading pretty expensively, because we're looking 9 years out, and they are selling for about 6 or 7 times forward revenue. So price to sales ratio of 6, and we're looking 9 years into the future. This is really high to me. The price to sales ratio right now is about 38. So I am interested in this company. I think it's growing quickly. The thing is, though, we're looking at such a high price to sales ratios for 9 years out. I think there are other options in the market right now that provide a better value for where they're at now. And I am interested if it falls back down. It's just that we've seen it go up so much. I mean, a lot of people thought it was too expensive at, $10 a share, because even then it was trading at a forward price to sales ratio 9 years out of 3. So of course that is a pretty low price to sales ratio overall for a company like this. But again, it's 9 years out. I definitely think if it falls back down, I would be interested in buying, but I'd have to see it in the mid to high teens. I think maybe $15, $16, $17 a share. And even then it would be expensive, but I think it might be a good long-term hold at that point. But again, there's only so much money that we have. There's only so much that we can invest in. So it's really about picking the best decisions moving forward. Now, if you want to know exactly what I'm buying and selling when I do it, you can definitely check out the link down below to Patreon, like I said earlier. Also, don't forget to get those 4 free stocks. And if you want to see a stock that's owned by Bill Gates, and he was an early investor, but now a large mutual fund company, ARK Invest, is buying it. And yesterday was the first time they ever bought it. Check out this video that I made right here on it. I made it last night. I think it's going to be very valuable, and the stock has moved up a lot since I made that video. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in this video.